Dawn breaks over forward operating base sentinel, painting the rugged mountains in hues of amber and gold. The morning air carries the familiar scent of dust and diesel fuel as soldiers move through their routines. In the briefing hall, 6 elite snipers from Phantom Unit perform their final equipment checks, their cutting-edge tactical gear gleaming under fluorescent lights. Commander Rick Blackwood stands before a holographic display, his weathered face illuminated by blue light as he traces their infiltration route with a laser pointer. At 45, Rick had earned his reputation through precision and perfection. His unit was the military's premier sniper team, and he maintained that status through rigorous standards and zero tolerance for variables. The mission briefing was straightforward: extract a high-value intelligence asset from behind enemy lines. Simple, clean, and exactly the type of operation Phantom Unit executed flawlessly. "We've got a last-minute addition," announces Captain Zach Morris, approaching with a tablet in hand. His expression carries the weight of unwelcome news. "Command," insisted. Rick's jaw tightens. "We don't do last-minute additions, Captain. My team has trained together for 3 years. We know each other's breathing patterns." The team exchanges glances. Elena Drake, their lead sniper with over 50 confirmed kills, adjusts her advanced rifle scope. Talon Rivers, their spotter, shakes his head knowingly. Marcus Wells and Diego Foster, the unit's twin precision shooters, share a look of concern. "Orders are orders, Commander," Zach replies, though his tone suggests he shares Rick's reservations. The briefing room falls silent as footsteps echo in the hallway. A woman enters, carrying herself with the quiet economy of movement that marks experienced operators. But everything else about her seems wrong for an elite unit. Anna Thorne moves with purpose. Yet her tactical gear lacks the unit insignias and high-tech interfaces of the others. Her equipment appears well-maintained, but worn, like a vintage car that's been lovingly cared for, but clearly belongs to a different era. Most jarring is the rifle slung across her back, a weathered weapon with brass fittings and what appears to be a handmade scope. "This is Specialist Thorne," Rick announces, his tone carefully neutral despite the tension radiating from his shoulders. "Should be our overwatch on Ridge Point." Elena approaches Anna, examining the antique weapon with undisguised disdain. "What museum did you raid for this piece?" she asks, running her finger along the worn wooden stock. That scope couldn't spot. "A truck at 200 yards. The team chuckles, the sound cutting through the morning air like a blade. Marcus whispers something to Diego, who stifles a laugh. Talon openly shakes his head in disbelief. Anna says nothing, her face remaining impassive as she makes a minute adjustment to her scope with a small brass tool that looks older than some of the soldiers in the room. Her silence only seems to amplify the team's skepticism. "Ridge Point?" Elena continues, her voice carrying mock concern. "That's barely in range of the extraction zone. What exactly are you supposed to accomplish from there with that antique?" Rick watches Anna's reaction carefully. Something about her stillness, her complete lack of defensive response, troubles him. Most soldiers would defend their equipment, their capabilities, their very presence on his team. Anna simply continues her methodical preparations. As the team disperses to gather their gear, Rick confronts Zach privately in the corner of the briefing room. Her file is almost entirely redacted. Zach explains quietly, handing over the tablet. "Just says she was with Phantom Echo." Rick's blood runs cold. Phantom Echo had been disbanded after the Meridian Valley incident. The official reports claimed the unit had fabricated their success stories, that their legendary long-range shots were physically impossible. "Phantom Echo doesn't exist," Rick states flatly. "I know," Anna says quietly from behind them. Both men spin around. Anna had approached silently, her footsteps making no sound on the concrete floor. Her eyes meet Rick's, revealing nothing but holding depths that speak of experiences beyond official records. Ridgepoint, she continues, shouldering her ancient rifle. I'll be ready. She walks away, leaving Rick staring after her with a growing sense that this routine mission had just become anything but routine. The weight of unspoken history hangs in the air like smoke from a distant fire. Outside, Elena continues her commentary to the gathered team members. Command must really hate her to stick her with that museum piece. Either that, or they're setting her up to fail spectacularly. Through the window, Rick watches Anna methodically pack her gear. No digital equipment, no advanced targeting systems. Just a worn leather journal, a brass compass, and a small pouch of tools that look more appropriate for clockmaking than modern warfare. For the first time in his career, Commander Rick Blackwood feels uncertain about a mission he'd considered. Routine just moments before. Midday sun beats down mercilessly on the rocky terrain as Phantom Unit moves through the shadow of towering mountain ranges. Each step kicks up small clouds of dust to catch in their throats despite their face coverings. The extraction point lies in a valley below, surrounded by hostile territory that stretches for miles in every direction. Elena takes her position on the primary ridge, deploying a portable camouflage system that renders her nearly invisible. Her digital rangefinder sweeps the valley methodically, mapping every potential threat. Marcus and Diego establish overlapping fields of fire from elevated positions that command the main approach routes. Their advanced rifles gleam with carbon fiber components and electronic targeting systems that can compensate for wind, humidity, and even the rotation of the earth. Anna is directed to Ridgepoint, an exposed outcropping of rock that offers a clear line of sight to the valley but provides minimal cover. The position is over 2 miles from the primary extraction zone, far beyond the effective range of conventional sniper rifles. Command must really have it out for you, mutters Talon as he passes Anna's position, his voice carrying a mixture of pity and disdain. Either that, or someone wants you to disappear quietly. That ridge might as well have a target painted on it. Anna accepts the assignment without comment, making her way to the barren outcropping. The wind whips across the exposed position with relentless intensity, strong enough to throw off even the most advanced targeting systems. Most snipers would consider the location impossible to shoot from effectively. Elena's voice crackles through the comm system, her tone dripping with false concern. Anna, you might want to find some actual cover up there. When the shooting starts, that position is going to light up like Christmas morning. Through their advanced scopes, the team watches Anna unpack her equipment with methodical precision. No thermal imaging, no ballistic computers, no weather monitoring devices. Just her ancient rifle, that worn leather journal, and an assortment of brass instruments that belong in a different century. What is she even doing up there? Marcus whispers to Diego. It looks like she's setting up for a Civil War reenactment. Anna opens her journal, revealing pages covered in handwritten calculations and diagrams that none of them recognize. The mathematics appears complex, involving variables and formulas that go far beyond standard ballistic calculations. She makes a series of precise adjustments to her scope, using tools that seem almost surgical in their delicacy. Phantom Unit, this is Extraction Team Alpha, comes the radio call. We have eyes on the asset. Beginning approach now. Through their scopes, the team watches the extraction team move through the valley below. 8 Special Forces soldiers advance. With textbook precision, their movements coordinated and purposeful. The mission appears to be proceeding exactly according to plan. Rick monitors the operation from his command position, but his attention keeps drifting to Anna's exposed ridge. Something about her complete calm in such a vulnerable position disturbs him. Any reasonable sniper would be seeking better cover, not sitting in the open like a statue. Extraction Team Alpha, be advised. Elena reports through comms. I have movement on the eastern approach. Possible hostile reconnaissance. The team's attention focuses on their primary responsibilities, but Anna remains motionless on her ridge, apparently unconcerned with the developing tactical situation. Her stillness is unnatural, like a predator that has already identified its prey and needs only to wait for the perfect moment. Anna, Rick's voice crackles through her earpiece. Are you seeing any movement from your position? Her response is quiet, almost conversational. Always. The cryptic answer sends a chill down Rick's spine. There's something in her tone that suggests she's seeing things the rest of them are missing, patterns invisible to their advanced equipment and trained eyes. Through his binoculars, Rick catches a glimpse of Anna's wrist as she makes another scope adjustment. A faded tattoo is partially visible beneath her sleeve, a distinctive symbol he recognizes from classified files he'd thought were purely historical. The extraction team reaches the asset's position without incident. The intelligence operative, a middle-aged man who'd been operating behind enemy lines for 6 months, appears relieved but alert. He carries a briefcase that likely contains information worth more than their entire unit's equipment combined. Package secured, reports the team leader, beginning extraction in 30 seconds. It's at that moment everything goes wrong. The first artillery shell screams overhead like a banshee, impacting just 50 yards from the extraction team. The explosion sends up a massive cloud of dirt and debris, and the shockwave ripples across the valley floor. Artillery! Elena shouts into her comm, taking fire from the eastern ridge. Through their scopes, the team frantically searches for the source of the bombardment. The shells continue falling with devastating accuracy, each one closer to the pinned-down extraction team than the last. The enemy gunners clearly have their position dialed in perfectly. There, Marcus calls out. Artillery position on the far ridge. Distance approximately. He pauses, checking his rangefinder. 2.3 miles out. The team stares through their scopes at an enemy position so distant it appears as little more than tiny figures, moving around what might be artillery pieces. At that range, in these wind conditions, with conventional equipment, the shot would be virtually impossible. Negative on engagement, Elena announces after attempting to acquire the target. Distance exceeds effective range. Wind conditions are too variable. One by one, each team member attempts the shot and fails. They're advanced rifles, capable of precision beyond anything in military history, simply cannot reach that far under current conditions. The artillery barrage intensifies, the shells walking steadily closer to the extraction team's position. Through the radio, they can hear the desperate voices of soldiers pinned down with nowhere to run. We have maybe 10 minutes before they're overrun, Zach reports grimly from his observation post. After that, the mission is blown and we lose the asset. It's then that Anna's voice cuts through the chatter with crystalline clarity. Hold fire, she says quietly. Everyone hold fire. On the exposed ridge, Anna opens her leather journal to a page covered with calculations that appear to account for variables no modern computer considers. Wind patterns at different altitudes, atmospheric pressure variations, even the gravitational effects of the moon's position. Her handwriting fills margins with corrections and notations that suggest decades of refinement. What are you doing? Elena's voice crackles harshly through the comm. Get down from there. You're exposing our position for absolutely nothing. Anna doesn't respond. Instead, she makes a series of precise adjustments to her scope's brass dials. Each movement deliberate and measured despite the chaos erupting below. The wind whips around her with violent intensity, strong enough to knock a normal person off balance. But her hands remain perfectly steady. Through his binoculars, Rick watches in fascination as Anna settles into position. There's something ritualistic about her movements, as though she's performing a ceremony passed down through generations. The faded tattoo on her wrist becomes more visible, a distinctive symbol that makes Rick's heart pound with recognition. "Hold fire," Rick orders his team, his voice cutting through their protests. "Everyone hold fire and observe." "Commander, that's insane," Elena argues. "She's got a museum piece. There's no way she can make that shot." But Rick has seen the tattoo now, knows what it means. His voice carries absolute authority when he speaks again. "I said hold fire." Below in the valley, the extraction team's situation grows increasingly desperate. Artillery shells continue raining down with mechanical precision, each explosion closer than the last. The enemy gunners have their range perfect, and it's only a matter of time before a direct hit eliminates the entire team. Anna takes a single deep breath, her fingers steady on the trigger of the ancient rifle. The brass scope gleams in the harsh sunlight as she makes one final adjustment, consulting her journal one last time before closing it. With quiet finality, the world seems to hold its breath. She exhales slowly and squeezes the trigger. The shot cracks across the valley, the sound echoing off distant mountains like thunder. For several long seconds, nothing happens. The artillery continues firing. The extraction team remains pinned down. The enemy position shows no signs of disruption. Alana's voice carries vindication and scorn. "I told you. Waste of ammunition with that antique. Now can we get back to actual tactics?" Marcus and Diego exchange glances that speak volumes about their assessment of Anna's capabilities. Talon shakes his head in obvious disappointment. Even Rick begins to doubt what he thought he recognized. Then, exactly 7 seconds after Anna fired, the distant enemy artillery position erupts in a controlled explosion that sends a column of smoke and debris high into the mountain air. Complete silence follows. Through their advanced scopes, the team watches enemy forces scramble in confusion around their destroyed weapons. The perfectly coordinated artillery barrage stops immediately, leaving an eerie quiet that seems to echo across the valley. "Target neutralized," Anna says quietly into her com, already beginning to reload with practiced efficiency that speaks of countless repetitions. Extraction team is clear to move. The team stares in stunned disbelief. Elena's scope trembles as she refocuses on the distant ridge, trying to understand what she's just witnessed. "That's not possible," she whispers. "Not with that rifle. Not at that distance. Not in these wind conditions." Through the comm, the extraction team's leader confirms what everyone heard but nobody can process. Artillery has ceased. "We're moving to extraction point now." Rick lowers his binoculars, his hand shaking slightly as the full implication hits him. He approaches Anna as she methodically packs her journal away, her movements calm and unhurried despite having just accomplished something that violates everything he knows about ballistic physics. "You're from Phantom Echo," he says quietly, the words carrying weight beyond their simple meaning. "You're the Meridian Ghost." Anna neither confirms nor denies, continuing her work with the same methodical precision she's shown all day. "They said it was propaganda," Rick continues, his voice barely above a whisper. "One shot, 2 miles out in a sandstorm, ended the entire Meridian Valley conflict. Command claimed it was impossible, that the unit had fabricated their success." Anna looks up at him then, her eyes holding depths that speak of battles fought in shadows, of victories never acknowledged, of sacrifices never recognized. "Enemy forces are regrouping," she interrupts, pointing toward a seemingly empty hillside to the north. "Second team moving from that ridge. 4 minutes until they have line of sight to the extraction point." Rick scans the indicated area with his thermal imaging equipment, and confirms hostile forces exactly where Anna pointed. Soldiers invisible to the naked eye, and conventional optics moving with tactical precision toward an ambush position. "How did you?" he begins. "The artillery was a diversion," Anna says simply, already shouldering her rifle again. "Always look where they don't want you to see." Understanding crashes over Rick like a cold wave. The artillery wasn't meant to destroy the extraction team. It was meant to focus their attention while a secondary force moved into position for the real ambush. Anna had seen the larger tactical picture while the rest of them focused on the immediate threat. Rick straightens and offers Anna a formal salute, his years of experience recognizing true expertise when confronted with it. One by one, the entire team follows suit, their mockery replaced by stunned respect as they begin to understand who stands among them. Through the the extraction team reports they've secured the asset and are moving toward the rendezvous point. With Anna's warning, Phantom Unit repositions to provide cover against the approaching secondary threat, their advanced equipment finally working in coordination with capabilities that transcend technology. For the first time since dawn, Commander Rick Blackwood feels like his team might actually be worthy of the legend standing on the exposed ridge. Calmly preparing for whatever impossible shot comes next. As the extraction team moves through the valley below, Anna tracks the approaching secondary enemy force with unnatural precision. Through her ancient scope, she observes patterns of movement invisible to conventional optics. The enemy soldiers advance with tactical discipline, but their formation reveals tactical assumptions about where defensive fire might come from. Talon edges closer to Anna's position, his earlier mockery replaced by fascination. "That scope," he says quietly, "it's not standard issue from any era I recognize." Anna allows him a closer look at the weapon that had seemed so primitive hours earlier. The brass fittings contain intricate mechanisms unlike anything in modern military optics. Gears and dials that appear almost Victorian in design, yet precisely machined to tolerances that rival contemporary engineering. "Project Parallax," Anna explains quietly, her voice carrying the weight of classified history. "During the war, they recruited women as snipers because they could deploy them without drawing attention. My grandmother was among the first." "Why women specifically?" Elena asks, having moved close enough to listen despite her earlier skepticism. Anna's fingers trace the elaborate mechanism of her scope with practiced familiarity. The scopes were deemed too dangerous for general deployment. Something about neural compatibility. Women proved more resistant to the adverse effects. Before anyone can ask what adverse effects she means, a sudden burst of gunfire erupts from the northern ridge. The secondary enemy force emerges exactly where Anna predicted, but Phantom Unit is ready. Their advanced weapons make quick work of the threat, their superior positioning and advance warning turning a potential ambush into a rout. Through it all, Anna takes just one more shot. Another impossible feat that eliminates the enemy commander from a position that should have been completely protected by cover and distance. The precision is so absolute, it seems to defy physics. Elena watches through her own scope as Anna's bullet finds its target despite obstacles that should have made the shot impossible. "How are you doing this?" she demands. Anna lowers her rifle, and Elena notices her pressing a handkerchief to her nose. It comes away stained with blood. "The scope," Rick says quietly, understanding dawning in his voice. "It takes something from you, doesn't it?" Anna meets his gaze steadily, her expression revealing nothing of what the effort might cost her. "Everything has a price, Commander." The extraction team reaches safety with the intelligence asset, their radio chatter confirming mission success. As Phantom Unit begins their own withdrawal, the team's attitude toward Anna has transformed completely. The mockery of mourning has been replaced by respectful distance, as though they're in the presence of something they don't fully understand, but recognized as extraordinary. During the helicopter extraction, Anna sits apart from the others, methodically cleaning her rifle, with tools that appear handcrafted. Elena watches from across the cabin, her mind struggling to process what she's witnessed. "The Meridian Valley incident?" Elena says finally. "Was that real?" Anna looks up from her work, considering the question carefully. 342 soldiers were about to be massacred. One shot prevented that. "And the cost?" Rick asks. Quietly, Anna's smile is slight but holds depths of resignation. "Would you give 10 years of your life to save 300? The question hangs in the cabin like smoke, unanswered but understood. Back at Forward Operating Base Sentinel, the mood has shifted dramatically. Word of Anna's impossible shots has spread through the base with the speed of military gossip. Soldiers who had never heard of Phantom Echo are now asking questions about classified operations and legendary snipers. In the debriefing room, Anna finally reveals more about her weapon and its history. She opens a hidden compartment in the rifle stock, removing faded photographs of women in military uniforms spanning 3 generations. "My grandmother, my mother, and me," she explains, arranging the photos on the table. "All parallax snipers. The program officially never existed." She extends her hands, revealing fine scars that web across her palms like delicate spiderwork. The scope doesn't just calculate trajectory. It connects to the shooter, lets us see possibilities, past the bullet might take through space and time. "Is that why Phantom Echo was disbanded?" Zach asks. "After Meridian Valley?" "The official report claimed the shot was impossible," Rick interjects, his voice heavy with understanding. "Command said it must have been an internal explosion, not a sniper. They claimed Phantom Echo had fabricated their entire record." Anna nods slowly. "And we lost everything. Our unit, our recognition, our right to exist in official records." Elena leans forward, finally understanding the magnitude of what she's witnessed. "You've been carrying this alone all these years, knowing what you could do, what you'd accomplished, and having no one believe it." "I did my job," Anna says simply. "That was enough." But as she speaks, Rick notices the way her hands shake slightly when she thinks no one is watching. The cost of her impossible shots is written in the lines around her eyes, in the careful way she moves as though her bones carry more weight than they should. Captain Zach returns with a secure tablet, his expression unreadable. Command confirms. All objectives achieved. The asset is secure, and the intelligence package is intact. He hesitates, then adds, "They're requesting detailed confirmation on how the artillery position was neutralized. Specifically, they want to know how we achieved a successful engagement at 2.3 miles in those wind conditions." All eyes turn to Rick, who makes a decision that will change everything. "Tell them it was neutralized by a precision strike from 2.3 miles out, executed by Specialist Anna Thorne, formerly of Phantom Echo. Request immediate declassification of the Meridian Valley operation and full restoration of honors to all Phantom Echo personnel." Anna looks up in surprise, the first real emotion she's shown breaking through her carefully maintained composure. "They'll deny it," she says quietly, her voice carrying the resignation of years of official rejection. "Like they always have." Rick's smile is grim but determined. "Not this time, Specialist. We recorded everything through our tactical systems. Every shot, every calculation, every impossible moment." He meets her gaze directly, his voice carrying the weight of absolute conviction. The truth doesn't stay buried forever. The following morning, Anna finds herself in the base armory, carefully maintaining her rifle with the same methodical precision she applies to everything. The brass components of her scope gleam under harsh fluorescent lights as she polishes them with a soft cloth, each movement part of a ritual passed down through generations. Elena enters, hesitating at the doorway before approaching. The mockery from their first meeting has been completely replaced by something approaching reverence. "May I?" Elena gestures toward the rifle, her voice carrying none of yesterday's disdain. Anna nods, allowing Elena to examine the weapon more closely. Elena's fingertips trace the intricate gearwork of the scope, marveling at complexity that rivals the most advanced targeting system she's ever encountered. "How does it actually work?" Elena asks, her question carrying genuine scientific curiosity. Anna considers her answer carefully, as though deciding how much classified truth to reveal. "Conventional scopes show you what is. This one shows you what could be. Every variable, every possibility, wind patterns, temperature gradients, atmospheric pressure, even the rotation of the Earth and gravitational variations. It calculates them all simultaneously and presents potential trajectories." Elena's eyes widen as she begins to grasp the implications. "But the cost you mentioned yesterday, what exactly does it take from you?" Anna is silent for a long moment, her fingers stilling on the cloth. "Time," she finally says. "Each shot ages you. Microscopically at first, but it accumulates. My grandmother lived to 50, but looked 90. My mother the same. And you?" Elena's voice is barely above a whisper. "I'm 42, Anna says, meeting Elena's gaze directly. "According to my last medical scan, my cellular age is closer to 65. The revelation hangs between them like a physical weight. Elena struggles to find words adequate to the magnitude of what Anna has sacrificed. Why would anyone choose that? She finally asks. "Because some shots matter more than a few years of life," Anna replies without hesitation. Meridian Valley, 342 soldiers were about to be massacred. One shot changed that outcome completely. Before Elena can respond, Rick enters the armory, his expression carrying the weight of significant news. "Command wants to see you," he announces. "Both of you. Secure communication room immediately." In the communication facility, a panel of high-ranking officers appears on the main screen, their faces stern and unreadable. At the center sits General Victoria Blackwell, her silver hair pulled back severely, her eyes sharp with intelligence and authority. "Specialist Thorne," she begins without preamble, her voice carrying decades of command experience. "Your actions yesterday have forced us to reconsider certain classified matters that were sealed for very specific reasons." Anna stands at rigid attention, her face betraying nothing despite the magnitude of the moment. The Meridian Valley incident was classified not because it didn't happen, but because Project Parallax technology was deemed too dangerous for widespread deployment. The general continues. The physiological cost to operators was deemed unacceptable by military medical standards. Rick steps forward slightly. "With respect, General Specialist Thorne saved lives yesterday. The technology clearly functions as designed." General Blackwell's gaze shifts to Rick with laser intensity. "At what cost, Commander? Show them your medical records, Specialist." Reluctantly, Anna retrieves a small data drive from her pocket and inserts it into the terminal. Her complete medical history appears on a secondary screen, displaying detailed cellular analysis that reveals advanced aging patterns throughout her entire system. Every shot with parallax technology accelerates cellular degradation, the general explains to the stunned team members watching. Project Parallax was terminated because we could not justify asking soldiers to sacrifice years of their lifespan, even for the most remarkable tactical advantages. Anna's voice cuts through the silence with quiet steel. "I made my choice. Every single time." "Yes, you did," General Blackwell acknowledges, her tone softening almost imperceptibly. "As did your mother before you. As did your grandmother before her." 3 generations of Thorne women serving in silence, accepting that their sacrifices would never be acknowledged or rewarded. The general pauses, studying Anna's face through the camera connection. Perhaps that was our mistake. With a gesture, she brings up new documents on the main screen. Official military records, presidential citations, medals of honor, all bearing the names Anna Thorne, Linda Thorne, and Susan Thorne. Documents that should have existed for decades, but were buried in classified archives. Effective immediately, Project Parallax is being declassified, General Blackwell announces. The Meridian Valley operation is officially recognized as a successful mission, with full honors restored to all Phantom Echo personnel. Anna's carefully maintained composure finally cracks. A single tear tracks down her cheek as 20 years of silence and official denial are swept away in an instant. Your grandmother's contributions will be honored at Arlington National Cemetery next month, the general continues. Your mother's research on neural optics will be published in full with proper attribution and recognition. The general's eyes meet Anna's directly through the screen connection. And you, Specialist Thorne, are hereby promoted to the rank of Major with immediate assignment as head of the newly formed Parallax Division. Your first task will be training others in the use of technology that will now be officially recognized and further developed. Elena steps forward, her scientific mind grappling with implications. General, the physical cost will be mitigated. General Blackwell interrupts smoothly. Our medical division has been studying genetic samples from the Thorne family for years. We believe we can reduce cellular degradation by 80% through modern modifications to the original design. She looks directly at Anna with something that might be respect or possibly redemption. Your sacrifices won't be in vain, Major Thorne, and they won't need to be repeated by future generations. The communication ends, leaving the room in profound silence. Rick is the first to recover, offering Anna a formal salute that carries genuine respect rather than mere military protocol. Congratulations, Major Thorne. One by one, the entire team follows suit. Their earlier mockery replaced by recognition of what they've witnessed, not just extraordinary marksmanship, but decades of unacknowledged service and sacrifice. Anna returns their salutes with perfect military bearing, though emotion remains evident in her eyes. For the first time in 20 years, Major Anna Thorne allows herself to feel something approaching vindication. 3 months later, the training grounds of Fort Obsidian buzz with unprecedented activity. A new class of sniper recruits stands at attention in perfectly aligned rows as Anna walks the line, her uniform now bearing proper insignia and long denied medals that catch the morning sunlight. The silver oak leaves of her new rank gleam with fresh authority. Her original rifle is displayed prominently in a case behind her, retired from active service, but preserved as a reminder of classified history, finally brought into the light. Beside it stand 3 newer versions of the weapon, each maintaining the distinctive brass fittings of the original while incorporating modern materials and digital components that promise to reduce the devastating physical cost. Precision isn't about technology, Anna tells the 12 carefully selected recruits. It's about seeing what others miss and being willing to stand alone when nobody believes what you see. The recruits listen with rapt attention. Unlike previous sniper classes, these individuals have been specifically selected for genetic compatibility with Parallax technology. 6 men, 6 women, the first co-educational class in the program's newly official history. Today you begin learning to see beyond conventional limits, Anna continues, her voice carrying the authority of impossible shots made real. The scopes you'll be using are modified to dramatically reduce physiological impact. But make no mistake, this training will change you permanently. Your perception will never be quite the same. As the recruits disperse to their first training stations, Elena approaches. Their relationship has evolved from antagonistic mockery to genuine mentorship, with Elena now serving as Anna's second-in-command of the Parallax Division. "The calculations in your journal," Elena says, holding up a notebook filled with her own attempts at understanding Anna's methods. "I've been trying to replicate them, but something's missing." Anna's smile carries patient understanding. "It's not about the mathematics. The scope shows possible paths, but you have to be willing to take the shot. To stand exposed on that ridge when everyone else seeks cover." Elena nods as comprehension dawns in her eyes. "It's not just about seeing possibilities. It's about choosing which one to make reality." "Exactly," Anna confirms. "Now you're beginning to understand what my grandmother tried to teach me." In the distance, Commander Rick observes the exchange with Captain Zack at his side. Zack offers a tablet displaying a classified directive that carries implications far beyond military applications. They're expanding Project Parallax beyond warfare, Zack explains. Search and rescue operations, disaster response, even advanced medical imaging. The ability to see beyond conventional limits has applications throughout society. Rick watches Anna demonstrate proper stance to Elena, noting the way other recruits observe with fascination rather than skepticism. With modern technology reducing the physical cost, Rick muses, imagine what they could achieve. What other impossible shots might become routine? Zack hesitates before asking, "Do we tell her about the expansion plans?" Rick considers the question while watching the woman who had arrived as a forgotten relic and transformed into a recognized legend. No, he decides. This time, we ask her. She's earned that level of respect and consultation. Later that afternoon, Anna oversees the recruits' first attempts with training versions of Parallax scopes. These simplified models offer a glimpse of the technology's potential without the full neural connection or physical cost of the original systems. A calm, young recruit named Sofia Ramirez excels immediately, demonstrating intuitive understanding that reminds Anna of her grandmother's stories about early training experiences. "It's like seeing music," Sofia tries to explain to her fellow recruits, her voice filled with wonder. "Everything connects in patterns you can feel more than consciously process." Anna nods approvingly. "That's exactly how my grandmother described it." The parallax effect isn't purely visual, it's almost kinesthetic. You perceive multiple dimensions of information simultaneously. As the training session concludes, General Victoria Blackwell arrives unannounced, her presence causing the recruits to snap to immediate attention. "Walk with me, Major," she requests, gesturing toward the ridge overlooking the training grounds. As they walk, the general speaks with unusual candor. "The President will be making an announcement next week about Project Parallax. After 70 years of secrecy, the program and its achievements will be acknowledged publicly." Anna absorbs this information silently, understanding the magnitude of such disclosure. "Your grandmother will receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom posthumously," General Blackwell continues. "Your mother's research on neural optics will be published with full attribution. And you, Major Thorne, will be asked to testify before Congress about the program's potential applications beyond military use." Anna stops walking, her expression thoughtful. "The world isn't ready for this technology, General. The implications go far beyond anything we've discussed." "Perhaps not," the General acknowledges. "But they weren't ready for many technologies that ultimately changed civilization. The question is whether we guide that transformation or simply react to it." They reach the ridge that overlooks the same mountains where Anna had made her impossible shot months earlier. General Blackwell produces a small velvet box from her pocket. "This belonged to your grandmother," she says, opening it to reveal a tarnished brass compass with the Parallax insignia etched on its cover. "It was confiscated when the program was classified. I thought you should have it returned. Anna takes the compass, feeling its familiar weight in her palm. Thank you, General. The General's voice softens with unexpected personal connection. Your grandmother was my instructor, you know? Before the program was shut down, she saw something in me that no one else did. Just as you saw something in Specialist Drake when she mocked your rifle. Anna looks up in surprise at this revelation. Yes. I read all the reports. General Blackwell confirms with a slight smile. Sometimes, the ones who doubt most strongly become the most dedicated believers once they witness the truth. Remember that with your recruits. As the general departs, Anna remains on the ridge, contemplating legacy and truth and the weight of both. The compass in her hand feels like a connection across decades, linking her to her grandmother, to her mother, to all the women who had seen beyond conventional limits when the world insisted it was impossible. That evening, Anna invites the original Phantom Unit team to her quarters. The room is spartanly furnished, but a small table now displays photographs of 3 generations of Thorn women in uniform. A bottle of rare whiskey sits open beside 6 glasses. To seeing what others can't, Rick proposes as a toast once everyone is served. To making the impossible shot, adds Talon, his earlier skepticism completely transformed. To the Thorn women, Elena says quietly, who changed warfare forever, but never got to see their legacy acknowledged. They drink in solemn appreciation, the weight of recognition finally given settling over them like a benediction. Then Anna reveals why she's gathered them. The Parallax Division is expanding beyond military applications. We'll need a core team we can trust implicitly. People who understand both the potential and the cost. She looks at each of them in turn, her gaze carrying the weight of impossible shots and unacknowledged victories. I'm offering you all positions, not orders, not assignments, a choice. What exactly would we be doing? Zach asks, leaning forward with genuine interest. Anna's answer is simple, but carries profound implications. Changing how humanity sees. The parallax effect has applications in everything from medical imaging to space exploration. We'll be the guides for that journey. One by one, they accept, not with formal military acknowledgement, but with the quiet commitment of those who have witnessed something extraordinary and chosen to follow it into an uncertain but promising future. As the team departs, Elena lingers behind. The recruits are asking questions about you, she says. About Meridian Valley, about how many shots you've taken with the original scope, about the personal cost you've paid. Anna considers this carefully. What do you tell them? That some prices are worth paying, Elena replies. But that our job is to ensure the next generation pays less for seeing more. Anna nods, satisfied with this response. Tomorrow we begin advanced training, the neural integration phase. Are you ready? I am, Elena confirms, though uncertainty colors her voice. Though I'm still not sure I'll ever see what you see. You won't, Anna says with complete honesty. You'll see your own version of possibility. That's the true gift. Of parallax technology, it doesn't show everyone the same thing. It reveals what each person is uniquely capable of seeing. The next morning dawns clear and cold over Fort Obsidian. Anna stands before her grandmother's rifle, now encased in honor behind reinforced glass. The brass scope gleams in early light, its intricate mechanisms visible beneath. Crystal clear preservation material that protects without concealing. Beside the display case, a newer rifle weighed similar in fundamental design, but incorporating 70 years of technological advancement. Its scope retains the distinctive brass components that mark it as parallax technology, but integrated with digital displays and carbon fiber construction that promises reduced physical cost. Anna lifts the modern weapon carefully, feeling its weight, lighter than her grandmother's rifle, but somehow carrying the same gravity of purpose and history. She raises it to her eye, activating the neural interface for the first time. The world transforms through the enhanced lens. Not simply magnified, but expanded into dimensions of possibility that human perception normally cannot process. Trajectories blossom like paths of light across the landscape, probabilities cascading through space in patterns that reveal the underlying mathematics of reality itself. For a moment, she feels her grandmother's presence, as though generations of Thorn women are connected through this unique way of seeing, this gift and burden they had carried in silence for so long. Ready for advanced training, Major? Elena asks, approaching with her own modified rifle and a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. Anna lowers her weapon, noting how the enhanced scope shows not just Elena's position, but probability clouds of where she might move, potential trajectories she might take through the training ground. The neural integration is different for everyone, Anna explains as they walk toward the range where the 12 recruits wait. Some see mathematical patterns, others perceive emotional resonances, still others experience something closer to intuition made visible. The recruits stand in perfect formation, each equipped with their own training-grade parallax scope. Sophia. Ramirez demonstrates natural aptitude that continues to impress, while others struggle with the sensory overload of perceiving multiple probability streams simultaneously. Focus on one target, Anna instructs. Don't try to process everything the scope shows you. Let it guide your perception gradually. She watches Marcus Wells, a former Marine sniper, attempt to acquire a target at 800 yards. Through his scope, he can see not just the target, but wind patterns, atmospheric disturbances, even minute gravitational variations that affect bullet trajectory. It's too much information, Marcus admits, lowering his rifle with frustration. Like trying to drink from a fire hose. Anna nods understandingly. My grandmother described it as learning a new language. At first, every word overwhelms you. Eventually, you begin to think in that language naturally. Sophia raises her hand tentatively. Major, I'm seeing something strange. The targets aren't just showing where they are. They're showing where they might be. Explain, Anna requests, moving to observe Sophia's scope alignment. It's like probability shadows, Sophia struggles to articulate. I can see multiple versions of the target, slightly different positions, as if it exists in several places simultaneously. Anna's expression grows serious. Sophia is demonstrating capabilities that typically require months of training to develop. That's advanced parallax perception, Anna explains to the class. Sophia is seeing quantum probability distributions, multiple potential states of reality existing simultaneously, until the moment of measurement. Elena approaches with her own observation. Major, we're getting unusual readings from the medical monitors. Some recruits are showing stress indicators we haven't seen before. Anna examines the biometric data streaming from the recruits' training. Suits, heart rate variations, neural activity patterns, even cellular stress markers that mirror her own medical scans on a much smaller scale. The technology is working, she concludes. They're beginning to interface with the neural components, but their systems are adapting to process information beyond normal human capacity. Through her earpiece, Rick's voice crackles with concern. Anna, we're reading some concerning data from the training ground. Should we abort the session? Anna observes her recruits carefully. Despite the physiological stress, their accuracy is improving dramatically. Shots that would have been impossible with conventional equipment are becoming routine. Negative, she responds. Continue training, but reduce session duration by half. Monitor stress levels continuously. As the day progresses, the recruits demonstrate remarkable improvement. By afternoon, even Marcus is making shots that defy conventional ballistics. The neural interface is clearly functioning as designed, allowing human perception to expand beyond normal limitations. But Anna notices troubling signs. Several recruits show fatigue patterns similar to her own after extensive parallax use. Nosebleeds, slight tremors, the subtle indicators of cellular stress that accumulate over time. General Blackwell said the new technology would reduce physical cost by 80%. Elena observes quietly. But 80% of what baseline? Anna's expression grows thoughtful. That's what we're here to discover. The original parallax. Technology was developed in wartime, tested under combat conditions. We never had controlled studies. Sophia approaches during a break, her face pale but determined. Major, I need to ask about the long-term effects. What you mentioned about your grandmother and mother. Anna considers how much truth to share with someone so young, so promising. The technology accelerates cellular aging. How much depends? On frequency of use, duration of neural interface, and individual genetic factors. But it's worth it? Sophia presses. The cost, I mean? Anna looks across the training ground where impossible shots are becoming routine, where human capability is expanding beyond previous limits. That depends on what you choose to do with the ability, she answers. Some shots matter more than personal cost. That evening, Anna reviews medical data from the day's training. The new technology is indeed reducing physical stress compared to the original scopes, but not eliminating it entirely. Each recruit shows measurable cellular impact, though dramatically less than Anna's own accumulated damage. Elena finds her in the medical facility, studying scan results by lamplight. The recruits need to know the truth, Elena says. All of it. They deserve to make informed choices. Anna nods slowly. Tomorrow we'll cover the complete history. Project Parallax, the Thorne family legacy, the real cost of seeing beyond normal limits. And if some choose to leave the program, then they choose wisely, Anna replies. This technology isn't for everyone. It never was. Through the window, she can see the mountains where months ago she had been a forgotten relic with an antique rifle. Now, those same peaks would witness the training of a new generation who would carry the burden and gift of impossible sight. Elena, Anna says quietly, what do you see when you look through the scope? Elena considers the question carefully. Patterns? Mathematical relationships that existed all along but were invisible. Like discovering a hidden dimension of reality. Anna smiles faintly. My grandmother saw music. My mother saw colors that didn't exist in normal spectrum. I see time-past trajectories, future possibilities, the path between what was and what could be. And the recruits? Will see whatever they're meant to see, Anna concludes. That's the real mystery of parallax technology. It doesn't impose vision. It reveals what was always there, waiting to be perceived. 3 weeks later, Anna stands before her 12 recruits in a secure briefing room where classified history can finally be spoken aloud. Maps, photographs, and documents cover the wall's 70 years of hidden truth about Project Parallax and the women who carried its secrets. You've all proven capable of basic neural interface with parallax technology. Anna begins, her voice carrying the weight of generations. Now you need to understand what that means, what it costs, and what legacy you're inheriting. She activates a holographic display showing 3 women in military uniforms spanning different decades. Susan Thorne, my grandmother. Recruited in 1954 when the military needed snipers who could operate without drawing attention. Linda Thorne, my mother. Continued the research when Project Parallax went underground. And myself. Sophia raises her hand tentatively. Major, the medical scans from our training show cellular stress patterns. Are we experiencing what you described before? Anna nods gravely. Yes, but at dramatically reduced levels. The original Parallax technology aged my grandmother from 25 to the cellular equivalent of 60 in just 15 years of service. The modifications have reduced that impact significantly, but not eliminated it entirely. She brings up medical data, comparing the original technology to current versions. You're experiencing approximately 10% of the cellular stress my grandmother endured. Still measurable, still cumulative, but manageable over a normal lifespan. Marcus speaks up from the back row. Major, with respect, why tell us this now, after we've already been training? Because, Anna replies, you deserve to make informed choices about your future. What I'm about to show you will change how you understand warfare, reality, and human potential. The holographic displays shift to show Meridian Valley, a barren landscape marked by elevation markers and tactical positions. August 15th, 2003. 342 American soldiers were pinned down by enemy forces in an impossible tactical situation. The display animates, showing enemy positions surrounding the trapped force. Every conventional rescue attempt had failed. The soldiers had perhaps 30 minutes before being overrun. Anna's voice grows quiet with memory. I took position on a ridge 2.1 miles from the nearest enemy emplacement. Wind conditions were impossible. Visibility was limited by sandstorm, and the shot required compensating for variables no computer could calculate. The animation shows a single trajectory line connecting Anna's position to the enemy command post. One shot. Through the storm, across impossible distance, accounting for atmospheric disturbance that changed moment by moment. Elena interrupts. Gently, show them the result. The display shifts to after-action reports, casualty figures, mission summaries. Complete mission success. 0 American casualties. Enemy forces withdrew in confusion after their command structure was eliminated. Sophia's voice carries awe and concern simultaneously. What did that shot cost you personally? Anna meets her. Gaze directly. 5 years of cellular aging in a single moment. But 342 soldiers went home to their families. The room falls silent as the full implication settles over the recruits. Command buried the operation, Anna continues. Claimed it was impossible, that Phantom Echo had fabricated their success. The technology was too dangerous to acknowledge, the capabilities too advanced to reveal. Marcus leans forward intently. But now it's different? The technology is safer. Safer. Yes. Safe. No. Anna's honesty cuts through any romantic notions about their training. Each of you will still age faster than normal. How much faster depends on frequency of use and individual genetics. The question is whether you believe the capability is worth the cost. She activates a final display showing current global situations, where parallax-equipped teams could make decisive differences. Hostage situations where conventional snipers cannot establish line of sight. Natural disasters where search and rescue requires impossible precision. Medical emergencies where surgical accuracy must be maintained across distances. Elena steps forward to address the group. The technology is expanding beyond military applications. Medical imaging, space exploration, search and rescue operations. You wouldn't just be soldiers, you'd be pioneers of human capability. Sophia raises her hand again. Major, if we continue training, what exactly are we committing to? Anna considers the question that cuts to the heart of everything. To seeing what others cannot. To making impossible shots when lives depend on it. To carrying knowledge that will isolate you from normal human experience. She pauses, looking at each recruit individually. To accepting that some prices are worth paying for capabilities that can change the world. The silence stretches as 12. Young soldiers confront a choice that will define their lives. Finally, Marcus speaks. Major, I've already lost friends because conventional capabilities weren't enough. If this technology can prevent that, I accept the cost. One by one, the others voice similar commitments. Some speak of family members lost to conflicts that superior capabilities might have prevented. Others cite search and rescue operations that failed due to technological limitations. Sophia is the last to speak. Major, my grandmother was a nurse in Vietnam. She used to say that some gifts come with prices, but refusing the gift doesn't eliminate the cost. It just ensures the price was paid for nothing. Anna smiles at the wisdom in such young words. Your grandmother sounds like she would have understood. My grandmother perfectly. 6 months later, the first graduating class of the Modern Parallax Division stands at attention as General Blackwell presents them with insignia that has been classified for 70 years. Each graduate shows measurable cellular aging, perhaps 6 months, to a year beyond their chronological age, but their capabilities have expanded beyond conventional human limits. Sophia demonstrates the ability to see probability distributions across multiple targets simultaneously. Marcus can compensate for atmospheric variables that change faster than computers can calculate. Elena, now on as official second-in-command, coordinates team operations using shared neural interface that allows unprecedented tactical coordination. You are no longer simply soldiers, Anna addresses her graduates. You are explorers of human potential, guardians of capabilities that exist at the edge of what's possible. She looks across their faces, seeing determination tempered by understanding of what they've chosen. The shots you'll make, the lives you'll save, the impossible distances you'll bridge, they will change how humanity understands its own limitations. As the ceremony concludes, Anna retreats to her office where her grandmother's compass sits. Beside reports from missions that would have been impossible just months earlier, hostages rescued from positions no conventional sniper could reach. Search and rescue operations succeeded despite impossible conditions. Medical procedures guided with precision that defies normal human capability. Elena enters with the latest medical reports. Cellular aging is stabilizing for most graduates. The technology is working as designed. Anna nods, studying data that shows the cost is real but manageable, and their capabilities? Improving weekly. Sophia is already approaching your grandmother's documented range. Marcus can maintain accuracy in weather conditions that ground conventional aircraft. Through her window, Anna watches new recruits beginning their first parallax training. Word is spreading through military channels about capabilities that seem magical, but are grounded in expanded human perception. Elena, Anna says quietly, do you ever regret the choice? Elena considers the question while studying her own reflection in the window glass. Subtle lines around her eyes speak of accelerated aging, but her gaze holds depths of perception impossible before parallax training. I see things now that I couldn't see before, Elena answers. Not just through the scope, but patterns in human behavior, connections between seemingly unrelated events, possibilities that exist in every moment. She turns to face Anna directly. The cost is real, but so is the capability. I can save lives now that I couldn't save before. That's worth a few years of aging. Anna smiles with understanding forged through impossible shots and unacknowledged sacrifices. My grandmother would be proud of what we've built. What she built, Elena corrects. We're just finally allowing it to see daylight. As evening settles, over Fort Obsidian, Anna makes her way to the memorial wall where names of fallen soldiers stretch across black granite. Among them now are brass plaques honoring Susan Thorne and Linda Thorne, their contributions finally acknowledged after decades of classified silence. She traces her grandmother's name with her fingertip, feeling connection across time to a legacy of women who saw beyond conventional limits when the world insisted it was impossible. The impossible shot, Anna whispers to the memorial, was never about the distance. It was about being willing to stand alone when no one believed what you could see. Tomorrow will bring new recruits, new impossible challenges, new opportunities. To prove that human capability extends far beyond conventional understanding, the technology her grandmother pioneered in secret will continue expanding human potential while honoring the price paid for such gifts. Anna steps back and offers a crisp salute to the memorial wall. For the first time in 20 years, Major Anna Thorne feels the weight of acknowledgement, not just for her own impossible shots, but for the legacy of women who changed warfare forever while remaining invisible in official records. The brass compass in her pocket catches moonlight as she turns toward the training grounds where the next generation prepares to see beyond conventional limits, to make impossible shots, and to prove that some prices are worth paying for capabilities that can change the world. In the distance, mountains stand silent witness to impossible shots made real, to legacies finally acknowledged, and to human potential expanded beyond what anyone thought possible by women who saw what others couldn't and had the courage to pull the trigger when it mattered most. If you enjoyed this story of courage, sacrifice, and recognition finally earned, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and become a part of our Everyday Life Stories community. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from our amazing viewers around the world. Have you ever witnessed someone being underestimated only to prove everyone wrong in a spectacular way? Share your own stories of hidden talents and unexpected heroes in the comments section.